out, pre-recce the ground, get set up, and spend several hours lying there waiting for the enemy to show up, and then giving them a horrible day. A snap ambush, on the other hand, is when you don't have those luxuries. So that might be that you've just been given intel that we're expecting an enemy convoy to show up on the other side of your AO in about an hour's time. That would technically constitute a snap ambush, because by the time you've got there and got set up, you may only have 5 minutes before that rolls into your kill box. It can also be used as a means of clearing your tail. Say you've just been hit by an enemy force and you've had to withdraw. The odds are the enemy are going to tail you, because of course they are. They're going to want to destroy you. So, you can quite smartly break track and ruin their day. If you look at the map at the moment, you'll notice I've drawn a couple of black lines. Don't worry about the arrows to the south, that's for later. So if you look at the area where I've drawn some black lines on, what we're assuming here is that you're withdrawing from an enemy contact. You've been hit at that crossroads and are peeling out of that engagement. Again, if you're following up this road, the enemy, which I will denote in white for the time being for ease of visibility, is likely going to follow you, because they want to destroy what's left of that force. What do you think we're going to do if we want to ambush them and we are trying to get the drop on them as they follow us?
Break contact and set up.
Exactly. We're going to want to...
the corner.
Yep, we're going to want to get out of their line of sight. And then we'll want to break track out of there, or off of that line. What we'll do from there is we come back on ourselves, and then, once we've done that, we lay in the snap ambush. Why do you think we're doing this up here? Why do you think we are breaking track up here and then doubling back?
A little bit of high ground?
Not necessarily. Think about it in terms of even Armor's vegetation. Granted, the AI aren't smart enough to do it, but if you're walking along and you're following someone, and you see that all the grass to one side of you has been flattened down, what are you going to think?
That's where they are.
Exactly, you know somebody's gone through there, which is why we're breaking back on ourselves like that, rather than going up this way and setting up here. Because if the enemy has... What were you saying, H?
Oh, no, I was sorry, I was just kind of acknowledging.
Okay. Yeah. Long story short, if the enemy suspects that you've broken track and are waiting for them, they can quite simply break track where you did, and then steamroll through you in a defilade. And we don't want that. So the aim is, with your kill zone ending up in this sort of area here, by the time they're even likely to see this, they're already going to be encountering many, many green hornets coming out of the bushes at them. That makes enough sense so far, hopefully. Yep. Everyone following? Nod for yes, shake for no, round and round if my accent is confusing you. It's another word for... It's a word for traces, pretty much. With the acknowledgement that weapons such as the AK series tend to use green tracer. Or at least so NATO believe. I'll apologise in advance for that. A lot of my training did come from a NATO-aligned country, so... Or the handbook of a NATO-aligned country, so... Some of my vocab will match up with that. Okay. What we're going to do briefly then, and quite conveniently, there is an area up here that we can quickly do it on the road. We'll have a quick run through how you lay into a snap ambush from there. Just so you get to see on the ground how it would look. Everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Okay. So head over to the roads, get into order of march as though we're going to be heading up the road towards that wood line.
Channel switched.
Alright, Zeus fuckery happened. That's fine. That's fine. Coming on back, we'll see what the fuck's up.
Channel switched.
So order a march on this road as though we're heading up that way.
I will take the point, and Alice, you want to be in the back of the MG? And Artemis and Vizo just kind of be between us.
Okay. So for the purposes of the follow-on exercise, just so we don't have to have the musical chairs game, why am I saying try and remember? You will remember this order of march. I'm not dealing with 12-year-old army cadets at this point. I know you all remember. So we'll say that we've just came out of a contact. I know there's not much vegetation on the side of this road, which is awkward, but at some point along this, you will break track either onto the left or the right. It doesn't really matter. Preferably somewhere where you're not going to end up lying across another road in the process.
Yeah, we could just, once we get around this bend, we could go out that hill to our left, and then shoot down onto the, anybody following.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Are we assuming that they're chasing us quickly, or...?
You're assuming that they would be coming after you, be that in a patrol like this or in a fast movement to try and catch you off guard, is anyone's guess. You would have to gauge that by the engagement that you've just came out of. If they seem aggressive, then assume they are coming after you full steam.
Well, for the purposes of training, we'll just stay at a marching pace, I guess.
Yeah, it works. Okay. Okay, so you're going to break track there, are you? Okay.
Need me to do anything?
We're good at the moment.
Alright.
If you want, you could start to have an enemy force patrolling up this road, if you really want to.
Gotcha.
Just
Also,
from down out of sight.
Yep, gotcha. Also, you are going to be ignored by enemy and friendly forces in terms of getting shot at. You aren't immune though, so try not to step in front of bullets.
Understood. Yep. Okay, so remember you'll want to peel around so that you've came back on yourselves, so that if the enemy do find where you've broken track, they're already in your kill zone. Okay. Somewhere around here should be far enough along, given...
Ready for orders.
Trenches wise, you can dig them if you want, but I would only dig really small, if anything. Remember, your biggest weapon with an ambush is surprise. If the enemy can see a small earthworks like the Maginot, they might suspect something. Granted, that's the human beings rather than the AI, but
Waiting.
if you've got...
Ready.
Well, that's totally
Standing
fine.
by.
As I say, that's one thing to consider when you set
Waiting
up an
orders.
ambush, is make sure it's well hidden. Not so much that you can't see the enemy, but enough that they aren't going to realise you're there.
Roger. Copy that. Copy.
lookalike in a big distance, we'd have a hard job sticking it. We'd have a hard job being seen.
Copy.
Yeah.
What happened?
Nothing too serious, just... Honestly, Artemis, I might suggest removing that trench.
Alright.
It's fine. It's just
It's,
you
I'm,
might want to watch your head.
yeah, if you're comfortable firing over the top. To be honest, and I should have probably said something about this before this point, it's one point where the ambush commander should consider what's going on and make sure you stay in a base of fire, because obviously we don't want to accidentally position our own troops in front of our own troops.
Hey Artemis, yeah, maybe undig that and then come back towards this short trench I dug. Since you're the
Yep.
medic.
Yeah.
You're the medic,
Squad
right?
leader should always be
I am.
positioning the machine gun.
Precisely. Squad lead or two, I see it. That depends on who's least busy at that moment in time.
I think this is the first time I've actually been able to get a PK into a place where it was usable.
Roger that.
Yeah, that's pretty good then. Okay, so GD is joining now.
Take off now. What's that? That's bullshit.
Okay, so how are we going to deal with... Or in fact, is GD out of the line of danger?
You'll figure out that in like a couple minutes, a couple seconds from now.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
On
Alright,
the way.
Alice. Do you see those bushes by the, is that a window or that wireframe structure?
Okay, GD, I would recommend you
don't
keep your
see
head
a
down
window.
for a moment.
What is that little tower looking at?
It's a radio tower.
Okay, yeah. When they pass
Well
that
handled.
point from our
User
perspective,
joined your channel.
That's when we're gonna start shooting.
Oh, okay.
Solid copy.
Okay,
way.
so as you may have noticed, there is in fact an enemy patrol coming up after you. I'll leave it on squad lead. You choose who you want to initiate and how you want to initiate the contact.
Yeah, good point. Alice, you fire first.
Mic check. Can't hit them where you want me to hit
Yeah, I
them.
got you, GD.
Visa, you got the RPG?
Okay, so we're going over snap ambushes. We've pulled in off the road,
Oh, they're about to pounce.
got into cover here, and now we're about to initiate contact against this. H is in charge. I'm here as your instructor and observer. Take up a position to overlook that road and get ready to engage.
Got it. Alright, Visa, when the shooting starts, I want you to light up that arm. I'm gonna get out of your back pass.
On the way.
Stay out, Calvin. It'll come around, alright. I guess when they come out from the other side of those bushes, since we were...
They're already on the road.
Alright, fuck them up as soon as you got a good shot.
Solid copy. Welcome.
Drop that Humvee.
We've lost reloading.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Understood.
Honestly, that didn't go too bad considering. These guys are gonna try and get the fuck out of there now.
Hold up, gotta get fucked up.
On the way.
Okay, how long do you think you're going to want to hold after that ambush?
Not super long, but long enough.
Reloading. Is that fucking CSAT?
Copy.
Negative. Okay, ceasefire, ceasefire. You've got him. Okay, that was a fairly well conducted snap ambush. Points to note for that section. Again, just section commands. Remember, keep an eye on where people are. Make sure your base of fire is good. The engagement range you picked there, that's workable. Ideally, get them as close as you risk getting them before engaging, just so you don't have a risk of missing them. But that engagement range, totally fine. You've got them all, because they're either dead, dying, or have surrendered. Of which you've managed to get 3 of them to surrender out of a patrol of 7. The United States military is not going to be happy today.
Apparently, the Humvee's bulletproof windows are not immune to 7.62.
Yep. So, that section of the exercise, I'm pretty happy with.
Hey, but before the next exercise, can we go back to the arsenal and get Diesel out of CSAT gear?
Yep.
That's totally fine. We're going to be heading back down there anyway, because you are going to need some time once we've gone through the basics of a planned ambush to actually rearm and refit as you need to.
Apparently, the
So we'll head back
respawn
down
script
there
not work. So I think that's on me on that one.
Okay.
See, I told you I saw CSAT.
Okay, let me just... Or in fact, I might trust you to teleport everyone down rather than me, Kendall, because you've done this more often than I have.
Yeah, I got you. Go gadget TP.
Okay, that works. Alright, Vizo, you get yourself... Yep. So
If
you
y'all
get
wanna
yourself
go-
out of that strange futuristic gear.
And tell me what rockets you're bringing. I'm 50 Grenadiers.
Arsenal's
off
over there.
Yeah, frags and
Box moment.
Arsenal is...
Box moment.
Okay.
Y'all did pretty good considering those dudes fucking expected or went hostile but didn't know where the actual enemies were. So y'all did manage to catch them doing their lamb shit, which was nice. As for
Yeah.
the Humvee, fucking the gunner got knocked unconscious and the driver got knocked unconscious, so it was fucking just driving in circles, so I just had
That
them
was
bail
quite
out.
entertaining to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I expected it to do something wilder, but no, it just was gonna do donuts until it ran out of gas.
Yep. Yeah, as I say, granted, some of this training is going to have to be slightly armorified because, again, if we were talking about the real world, the odds are those guys wouldn't have seen you at all until they got to about 20 meters away, if that.
Yeah, when they came around the corner, they went into combat mode, but they had no fucking clue where they actually had to, like, shoot at, so they were all facing the wrong direction,
Yeah,
and didn't
they
really
all
get
just
to
started-
react in time.
Yeah, they were all just fanning out and trying to figure out, why are we getting annoyed at something? There's just bushes.
Oh, there's no spare barrels.
Yeah, just chuck a can of Coke over it. I'm sure that
Fucking
won't hurt
yeah.
it at all.
Look,
There's no cans of Coke.
I can put a foul bipod on my AK-74.
that's lit.
Yeah, I've no issue if you're going to put a bipod on something. If you feel like you need one, for the
There you go,
purposes of this
Alice. I put
training,
a
I'm
spare
not going to-
barrel in your backpack. Why is the spare
That's-
barrel like 50 pounds? What the fuck?
1,000 pounds of barrel.
Apparently, you're using the barrel from a T-34.
Update: the 240 gunner on the Humvee didn't even get to fire a bullet.
So again, I would say exercise well done. You pulled that snap ambush off pretty well. Once you're all sorted, pick somewhere just in and around here and take a seat because we will then start to go over a planned ambush.
Oh damn, Alice, you punctured the fuel tank. So that thing is now just out of gas.
Oh, right, push the top.
There you go,
Pretty
Harrison.
clean shooting.
That was good shooting. Good job, everybody.
Okay, everyone ready? Or is everyone rearmed as they want to be? As I say, we're not going straight into contact again. We're now going to go into the next part of the lesson.
I have 7v fragged. Is that good?
I would recommend some frags and some anti-vehicle rounds, just based on what I know of what will be coming up in one of the later exercises.
So you
Don't
maybe
worry.
bring like a heat.
Yeah.
I'll grab one.
Okay. So, we've just gone over a snap ambush there for what you do either when you're doing it on the fly or doing it as a measure to clear your tail after you've been bumped by the enemy. We're now going to go over a planned ambush, which is, as the name implies, you're going to be planning it, you're going to be going through it, and ideally you're going to be making a much nastier mess of the enemy's face. So, what do you think we will usually set up ambush sites on? And again,
Hills?
this isn't a rhetorical question, just throw ideas out as you wish.
Hills with green stuff on them.
Yeah, I think hills.
Potentially,
The
yes.
choke points where it can be closed.
Exactly. Choke points. You say hills with vegetation, they're good for places to set up your killing groups and your cutoff groups. In general, anywhere where vegetation changes. So, for example, if this was all like elephant grass and then at that road boundary you have it changed down to this shorter grass, that's a perfect place to carry out an ambush because the odds are the enemy will inadvertently expose themselves coming through there. Admin areas, if you know where the enemy's headquarters or their barracks or where they're operating from is, you can set up ambushes near those and hit them as they come out. If you know where they're supplying themselves from, say they've got a weapons cache somewhere, you can set up nearby and whack them. You can also set up a defensive ambush, just like we did there, but on a larger scale, near your own positions if you need to. So say you know there's an enemy armored column rolling up because they're going to come and say hello with 120mm HE. You can string a few anti-tank mines out on the road, get an anti-tank ambush set up in place, or tank destroyers, whichever you have to hand, and introduce whatever's rolling down that road to our Lord and Saviour, high-velocity armor piercing, or its modern-day equivalent. Okay, so what do you think some of the key things we need to think about are when we're planning an ambush?
Lines of fire and concealment.
Yes.
Spacing.
Spacing to a
Well,
lesser
always.
extent,
The stop
to be
point.
honest. Hmm? You were saying, what was it, Visa?
Stop point.
Yeah, your cutoff points. Indeed, these are things that you do need to consider about the ambush itself. Do you think we're going to try and do a planned ambush if we don't know enough about what the enemy's up to? Like, we don't even know what enemy forces are in the area? Hold for yes, shake for no. And in answer to that, Alice, any reasonably switched on enemy force is going to be checking their arcs anyway. The idea is an ambush will still work even if they are looking in your general direction because your concealment should, emphasis on should, be enough that they won't have a chance to react until the rounds start flying. Also correct, you don't want to be planning an ambush if you don't know where the enemy are going to be, because you don't want to be lying for 4 hours in a field staring at cows and the enemy don't show up, do you? It depends on how much of a nature observer you are.
But it would be fun.
Yeah, just chill.
Yeah, it depends on how milsim you want to go. Like I've heard 8 to 10 hours isn't an unreasonable length of time for a force to be put into an ambush position for. Which in the real world means don't fall asleep or you're going to get kicked by someone for falling asleep.
Kicked in the head by the sergeant.
Yes. Planning and preparation. Do you think you would want to rehearse your ambush before you go out there if you have the choice?
Yes.
Exactly. You want to make sure everyone knows where they're going, what they're doing, where they need to run to after things have been finished off. Because the last thing we want is for things to become one giant clusterfuck, because that makes things a lot harder for us. Security-wise, do we want to make it very obvious where we're going to be trying to set up an ambush?
Only if that's the point of the ambush.
The point of an ambush is to be using the element of surprise, so we don't want to be making it obvious, ideally. Because then that's just a nice big sign of, we're over here, come and counterattack us, or we're over here,
Bypass the ambush.
either bypass it, or worse yet, they might just drop something on you like, I don't know, 81 mil high explosive. In any case, they'll just wreck your day, if they can. As far as what you were saying earlier about control of fire is concerned, that is very much an important thing that you want to consider. Do you think you want to do a very complicated way of controlling that fire, or do you think you want to keep it as straightforward as possible?
Straightforward.
Straightforward.
Precisely. As the army says, keep it stupid simple. Always work to the lowest denominator. Always assume that the people you're trying to get to do this are absolutely knackered. They've been without sleep or with minimal sleep for 4 or 5 days on end. You want to make sure that there is as little chance as possible of them making a mistake with it. And the last point on here is discipline. This being in respect to noise discipline particularly. What do you think is going to happen if you lay in your nice, well-hidden ambush that you can't see without thermals, and everybody's talking away like they're in the local pub?
They're gonna hear us and hit us with old torpedoes.
Precisely.
I was thinking the old torpedo thing.
Precisely. We do not want to be making noise. To that end, once you're in position in an ambush, don't move. Stay perfectly still, or as still as you can. Because again, what happens when we move around in foliage?
Leaf rustle noises.
Leaf rustle and leaf move. If you've ever learned the lesson on how not to be seen, movement is, or sudden movement, is something that the eye picks up on. So it's a very good big neon sign pointing at suspicious shit over here. Come and have a look. Now then, aside from moving on from that, which is your very basic things you want to consider before you go out on the ground, there's a couple of kinds of ambushes that you can lay in. First one we'll talk about is the most commonly used, and is probably going to be the one you end up using on this, though I'm not going to say you have to. It is a linear ambush. Using the example of the road you were just using, a linear ambush is where you have your killing force strung out like this. So that you have your kill group, or in fact, hang on, I have markers for this, don't I?
Isn't that what we just did?
Yes, there is a slight extension to that. It's a similar concept. We don't have enough people here to demonstrate it in its fullest capacity, but as well as a killing group, you have two other things. You'll have two cut-off groups that flank the ambush. What do you think their job is?
Keep the enemy in the kill zone.
Exactly. Say, for example, you've just bumped the enemy where this blue dot is. What do you think the enemy's first response is going to be when
Don't
the
be there
tree
anymore?
line... Pardon?
Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, say what you were going to say.
I was just gonna say they're gonna try to not be there anymore.
Exactly. If that tree line starts speaking 762 Russian, they're not going to want to stay in front of that tree line. They're going to want to get the fuck out either back to where they know it is safe, or they're going to want to try and escape back out of the ambush zone. The idea of a cut-off group is that they can't do that. Anything comes in front of those, they get nuked. Further to the end of discipline we mentioned earlier, once everyone's in position and the ambush set, you tell everyone that the ambush is set. Do not go in front of your own cutoff groups. Why do you think we don't do that?
They'll cut you off too.
Exactly. Cutoff group is there to kill anything that moves in front of them once the ambush is set. They will kill their own team if they move in front of you, so don't. There's a couple of ways you can lay into your ambush zone. So say we've come out from our fob here to lay out an ambush. It's a bit of an impractical demonstration because you wouldn't have your fob this close ideally, but we'll say for the sake of argument in that area. Just as a quick check, nobody's blue colorblind, are they? Okay. Your patrol out is quite simple. You get to where you're going. For the sake of argument, we'll say we peel off here because the enemy is expected to come from this direction. You can lay in one of two ways. You can either just pull your force in a linear direction like this, so this cutoff group is leading the formation, and this cutoff group is tail of the formation. Line off in position, everybody turns around and gets into their positions here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. The other way you can do it is to have this the other way round. So your leading group is this cutoff group, and as soon as they get to their position, they peel off into theirs. The main body of the killing group arrives, peels off into position, and the cutoff group peels off into position. I haven't lost anyone so far, have I?
Nope.
Okay, good. So we're all set, the ambush set's been given, and the enemy is just starting to enter the kill zone. What do you think we're going to do at this point? Do we think we're all just going to light the enemy up as we please?
No.
No.
Correct. Sounds strange given what I've just said, but if you just start lighting them up and you haven't, say for example, you just start lighting them up when they are just entering the kill box here, the odds are they're going to try their hardest, and the bulk of their force may well be able to get past your cutoff group. What you want to plan before you go on the ground is an initiator. That should be the section commander's job to brief out. Now, that can be pretty much anything. It can either be the section commander opening fire themselves and firing the first shot. It could be that you brief your gunner, be that your machine gun or your grenadier, that when you give them a go code, they open fire, and once that round is downrange, everyone else lights up. Or you can use other stuff like mines, remotely detonated explosives, etc. Key thing is nobody fires a shot until that initiate is given, because you do not want to wreck all the planning and prep you've put into that and let the enemy get off scot-free. Everyone happy with that and how that works?
Yep.
Okay. So we will run another very brief exercise of that as a demonstration of how we go through this. You can see this track here, correct? Hopefully.
Right here?
Yep. Correct, that one. There is an enemy force that is expected to come down from Shakova. We're expecting a couple of supply trucks and approximately 4 to 6 enemy troops. Commander's intent is to lay in a linear ambush in this area. You are going to be the killing group. We will have a few small forces deployed as cut-off groups as well on your flanks. Convoy isn't expected to arrive for another 15 to 20 minutes. So from here, yep, so squad lead, feel free to take over, brief your people as you want to for your battle orders, and get yourselves out there.
All right, ducklings. Let's get moving, and we will talk on the way there.
Okay, in your own time. Don't wait on my
I'll do this
account.
way.
I can follow you in Zeus Cam.
Not gonna follow the road because that's not really aimed at.
For the fucking killing or their extra forces, you want that to be AI, or you think you're gonna leave that up to them?
Put a couple of MG teams maybe in as killing group.
Gotcha.
Sorry for springing this one out of nowhere.
Nah, it's good.
I'd thought this for a bit,
It
but
is
I don't
good.
Let you know.
Teaching them is good.
Yeah. The more practical exercises we put in, the better, as far as I can tell.
Yep.
So, you want to go and take the first shot? Do you want to take the first shot?
User left your channel.
We want to set up somewhere where we can safely fire the RPG and then punch it everyone out.
فهمیدم. شنیدم. دارم میام. دریافت شد.
Tell that to the armored corps.
Do you get what command gives us? Yes.
فهمیدم. دارم میام. دریافت شد. دارم میام.
You know, this wouldn't be a terrible spot if we can get slightly better vision. That's true. That's a good point.
It's too low. Like, it's really below the road.
فهمیدم.
If we cross, maybe we can get a better
دارم میام.
sight. It looks like the hill continues a bit over that, so we might be able to get a good spot if we go up the hill. Everybody still with me?
شنیدم. دارم میام.
Okay, yeah, there's some pine trees up there. Okay, I'm thinking that cuts
دارم
the
میام.
right. This guy can't see us.
So my plan is that the fucking AI kill groups will be ahead of them, so they'll be the initiators, but the AI is gonna be somewhere else.
Let me figure out exactly where I want to set up, but yeah.
Okay.
Almost there. There's only 5 of us, right? Yeah, so we don't need that much. Can't see shit from here. Bushes over here. I don't know. Hey, do we still have a visa?
Yeah, there we
I'd have them set up like right here-ish. Or hell, get in there and set up shit there. Honestly, knowing that where the AI is,
Terrain area. That'd be fine.
I think this will be the spot.
pull them back a little bit.
Okay, can I get the machine gun?
Y'all will hold fire.
Small machine gun and then a short trench behind these bushes. So, yeah, short trench right around where we are.
Never mind, I don't seem to have an entrenching tool for some reason.
I know. I don't think you can.
Wait a sec, I do. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't think you can dig in that.
Okay, we can dig about here.
Flashing away.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
I would have set up here actually.
Short trench here is kind
Machine
of
gun could just shoot through the
cover.
trucks and shit.
Where is my grenadier? Ah, there you are. Alright, yeah, Vizo. Let's put you somewhere, because I want you to hit the front vehicle as soon as it comes around. Or as soon as I give the go. Okay, yeah, Vizo, come here. Vizo. You
Tahmina.
right here, I can't see you. PD, where's your rocket?
I don't know. You were here a second ago.
He just disappeared.
He got kidnapped.
I believe he's currently just getting into a position where he can fire without backblasting you all.
Found him.
Oh, there we go, okay. Hey, Visa. No worries. I was just gonna say, if you hide over here and then pop out when I give the command, you can get a good shot on the drone.
believe that Visa was just trying to find somewhere that wasn't going to backblast you all.
Yeah, like once I give the shoot command, you would kind of like stand up, take a shot, and then get back down. And since nobody, the Rangers. Let me see if I can get it.
Okay, intel has been updated from Forward Recon Team. We're expecting minutes.
Okay, voice to that. Okay, very sneaky. Because they will not be happy about what you did. Come again? Yeah, I think so.
What range are you looking at over here?
I don't know.
Hey, Alice.
Yeah.
Would you agree with the range on that being about 150? To the
I was
road?
gonna say 400.
400 to the road?
Maybe it's 150. I don't know.
Once Visa pops the front vehicle, you just start lighting up anybody that you've got a good shot on. And hopefully there aren't like a ton of vehicles.
When it is 50, I'm gonna start sending 31, 32,
Just saying,
33.
we should have known the range from here to that road before we even came here.
We probably should have, yes.
This isn't a prepared ambush. This is a snap ambush.
Yeah, we were given 15 minutes up, and that's well within the snap ambush range.
That is true.
Solid
It's hard
copy.
to give a
On the way.
thing because normally you would be given it several hours in advance, which we don't have the luxury of.
I hear Vix. Okay, Visa, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okie doke. Just doing a quick check. Thank you.
Here they come.
Yep, I got him. Okay, Visa, can you still hear me?
Understood.
Alright, take him out as soon as you got a shot. Try to hit the front truck that's fucking up. What are they doing? Alright,
Just give me a second chance.
get him. Fucking it.
Cenida. Tarapia.
Can I put a frag up there?
Yep, do it. I was about to request one. Hell of a shot, Musa. Yeah, we had James. Yep.
Dariopso.
That's the basics of how you carry out a linear ambush. The shaped ambush, which is, as the name implies, instead of just having everybody in a straight line, ideally, you will have them in an L shape. So you'll have a cut-off group that's across the road, well, in a perpendicular position to the enemy's line of travel, and a group here, like it is now, linear. What do you think an advantage of that is?
Angiomina.
They literally can't push forward.
They can't push forwards, for true.
Also, you have a really good
put
line
down
of sight.
defilade fire.
Exactly. You're just going to fill that square with
Cenida.
lots of bullets.
Bahmida.
What do you think on the downsides?
Cenida.
Alice, can you hear over there?
I think you're on Whisper.
Oh, I am. Alice, you can cease fire now. Next size complete on that one. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so I'll quickly run back over that because I didn't realise I had this on Whisper. I'm having a normal Thursday. So, happy enough with how the initiation was done on that. My bad on the fact that you actually couldn't see from the position that you were given, though good improvisation to come up here and use the concealment, which had a very good line of sight down onto that road. Kicked off the ambush nicely. Cut-off groups that were deployed also managed to clean up a couple of infantry that tried to get into the woods. So that is the basics of a linear ambush, though this ended up becoming a little bit more like an area ambush, which is more common for platoons. The L-shaped ambush that I was just starting to go over is, as the name implies, where you've got one group perpendicular to the road and one group linear. As you've identified, the enemy can't really push through that with any real ease, and you're getting a lot of defilade fire. What do you think a major problem with this might be?
Need more people.
You need more people, yes. What's another more potential problem if you've got anyone that's trigger happy in either of these two groups?
Could end up getting into a firefight with yourself.
Yes, unless you, as the commander, or the cut-off group commanders, are very careful about your arcs of fire. You make sure that nobody shoots past certain points. There is a very real risk that you'll accidentally defilade into your own troops, which, you know, isn't conducive to a long and healthy life, apparently.
Well, I trust Abel's ability to not do friendly fire. Can't say the same for Baker.
Okay.
Baker's taught international incident.
Yep. Okay, the other form of ambush that you can do, and the reason that we're talking over these briefly rather than going out and demonstrating them directly, is because the way you set them up is exactly the same as how you're doing this sort of thing. The only difference is the formation you lay troops out in. What do you think the L shape is particularly good for in terms of
Whole lot
areas?
of killing.
Yep. Where do you think you would be best setting one up? For example,
A corner.
You could set it up on a corner. You could set it up on a blind corner. That would be a very effective way of utterly ruining their day. In theory, you could set one up in a town. So say you've got some buildings that run perpendicular to part of the road. You could set your cutoff group up in those buildings and have the killing group set up somewhere off to one side. It's a little bit more finicky than a linear ambush, which is why that's one of the more common ones, but it is useful. You'll notice a few markers that have gone down on the map now, the black markers. This is for what is known as an area ambush, which does exactly what you think it does. Now, the reason we're not going over this is because in order to execute one of these properly, you need a lot of people. You would normally carry this out at a company scale, for reference.
I mean, a company's 4 or 5 platoon, 4 or 5 people. That's kind of that's fine.
Yeah. So an area ambush is where you're aiming to hit one force primarily, and you're then also making sure to draw in the enemy's QRF, harass them so they can't get to their friends, and ideally kill them all. Again, it's very manpower intensive. It is very resource intensive to get every soldier you need into that battle space. However, if it's done right, you can utterly ruin an enemy's day right up to pretty much battalion scale if it goes off properly. An area ambush can cover miles at a time, where you may have a couple of miles between your cut-off groups. Any questions on what we've gone through so far?
Nope.
Everyone happy with how an ambush should be conducted under ideal circumstances, which, granted, we don't have in Arma?
Yep.
Any questions on what we've gone over so far? Okay, a couple of questions for the squad then. And rather than trying to point people out to answer them, I'll go off of whoever wants to. What do we not do once we've laid in an ambush? There's
Move.
2 or 3 answers. Yep, move is one of them.
Talk
What
to
else?
us.
Yep, we don't want to make noise. What else do we not do once the ambush is set?
Shoot prematurely.
Correct. What's a cut-off group there for?
Cutting things off.
Yep, prevent the enemy from escaping in either direction or cutting them off entirely. Does what it says on the tin. Remember, this is aimed at British infantry, who are not exactly Harvard scholars. We call it simple things, so it does what it says on the tin. What would we want to do, for example, even though I haven't discussed this, if we were told that the enemy was bringing in helicopters as part of their formation? What do you think you might want to do?
Target them first.
Bring a stinger.
Precisely.
Jump heads.
Exactly.
And make considerations for aerial.
Yep. That's one thing that I haven't touched on so far, but does boil down to a level of common sense. We do have a standard loadout for people to bring. If your intel suggests that you're going to need some different equipment, so say you're going to need to bring some shoulder-launched air defense to cover enemy helicopters, or you're going to need some heavier anti-tank like a Carl Gustav to take out some enemy main battle tanks, or you're going to need more automatic rifles to take out enemy infantry because they're going to be in the thousands, then if you need to, you adjust your squad composition to suit that. The squad as we have it here, though, can handle the majority of situations you should expect. One other thing. We've completed the ambush now and we're still here. What do you think would happen if this was the case in the real world? Granted, we're doing the debrief here. But what do you think would happen in a live situation if we stayed here after the ambush?
We get a single
Artillery.
kill.
By QRF.
Exactly. The enemy don't, strangely enough, the enemy don't like it when we kill their friends. They're going to send people out after us. It is in our best interest to not be there when they get here. So, in summary, on that, once you've hit the enemy, as soon as you're happy that they're all dead, you either send out searchers if you're going to do that, or you turn and get the hell out of there as soon as possible. Couple of notes as well on control of your fire once you have actually sprung the ambush. What do you think you're going to want to do when you are in the initial couple of seconds of the ambush? What rate of fire do you think you're going to want to have?
Yes. High.
Exactly. You want to be filling that area with as much lead as possible. You do not want to be letting any of them survive the first 10 seconds if you can avoid it. Once everything starts to die down a bit, once you've seen that there is very little movement, do you think you're going to adjust your fire down?
No. If we trust those bushes, no. I mean, yes.
Ideally, you would drop your rate of fire slightly. Well, I say slightly. What you would want to do is order the squad to watch and shoot, which is, again, says on the tin. Look for movement. If anything moves down there, introduce it to our Lord and Saviour 762. Once you are happy that everything down there is dead, you're going to want to cease fire, because there is no point lobbing bullets at dead people. Unless it makes you feel better, of course. Now, depending on what you're being sent out to do with the ambush, in this case, we're being sent out to just destroy. In some scenarios, you may be going out to try and capture intelligence or capture equipment. So you're going to have somebody in your squad who is designated to search. As soon as you're happy that there is no enemies remaining, or that they're all dead or dying or unconscious, you're going to want to give a command of searchers out. Searchers, when they go out, you do not want to take very long. You're literally going out, make a quick check to make sure everything's dead, possibly retrieve intelligence if there is any that you know is going to be there, and then fall back into the main body. And then, as we've just covered, get the hell out of Dodge as quickly as possible. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So what are we not going to do once we've hit an enemy force?
Vibe in the same spot.
Yep, hang around any longer than we absolutely need to. What's going to happen if we do?
Artillery or more guys.
Yep, we're going to be introduced to the enemy's friends, who are not going to be particularly well-tempered after we've killed 12 of their friends. Which brings us on nicely to the final exercise. You'll have noticed that I mentioned before about the map markings that were already present on the map. If you look to the south near Electro, you will see that there is a marking in one of the tree lines. Situation is as follows. We are expecting an enemy convoy to be coming up from Electro past the Topolka Dam. We aren't entirely sure yet whether it's going to Mogilevka or Staroye. We believe that there is going to be an enemy high-value target in there, possibly an officer of some description. Your orders are to move down to that area and establish your main body of your killing group of an ambush. Friendly forces will provide you with cut-off groups on either end of that. The mission is to destroy the enemy forces and ideally to kill or capture the enemy commander.
Sounds easy enough.
Okay. Further information on enemy forces. Reference the marker at the Chernogorsk airfield. We believe there is at least one platoon of enemy heliborne troops, possibly consisting of one Mi-8 and one Mi-24. We're expecting them to be quite heavily armed. The convoy itself shouldn't be particularly well defended. However, if they get attacked, they are likely, depending on how quickly you overtake them, to send out a distress signal. We're expecting that if the enemy is given a full picture of what's going on, they could have forces in that area within 4 minutes. So you are going to want to execute your ambush and get out as quickly as possible, or face the wrath of whatever's in that heliborne force. The quicker you manage to hit this convoy, and the quicker you manage to wipe them out, the less likely it is that they're going to respond that quickly. If they only get hazy reports through, it will confuse them. It will give you a little more time. So take that into account.
So right now the QRF is
Alright,
gonna just
can
be
we
doing
expect a
patrols.
resupply before that?
Correct. You're going to be the service and support side of things. You will have time to rearm before you head out. We're expecting that the convoy heading up from Electro to the junction north of Topolka Dam in grid 101040 should take around 2 to 3 minutes to cover that route at their traveling speed. We aren't expecting them to be leaving for about another half hour, though recon teams may change that information depending on what they are seeing on the ground down there.
Alright.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Squad lead, feel free to rearm your people as necessary and to prepare for the ambush.
Can we walk that distance in half an hour?
We can provide you with transport if you need to. Once you're ready to go, just let us know and we will provide you with something.
Well, that works. We got mines and IEDs in here.
Yep. Feel free to make use of them if you want to. Just remember where you put them, because I'd rather you don't blow your own toes off.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm gonna bring a backpack full of stuff since we don't have a 2IC and I don't have a... I can't use my phone.
Yep. If you need to, then bring a short-range radio of some description. Command will maintain a presence on a short-range network, and we do have relay teams in the vicinity. So your frequency for command is going to be frequency 50.
Rápido.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Do the anti-personnel mines and armor work the way I assume they do?
And what way would that be?
Somebody steps on them and they die?
Hickory goes pressure plates.
They will almost certainly be incapacitated at the least. Not sure about whether they die or not, but it's going to give them a bad time.
But
Bear in mind,
I don't need to set it off though.
no. If it's an anti-personnel mine, it will detonate on pressure.
Alright, no worries else. I will do saw things.
User left your channel.
Yeah.
So, our firepower just got halved. GD?
I will take the gun.
Yep.
I was
No
actually
worries.
gonna
If you need to, as I say, we can provide a gun group for you of some description to make up that loss.
Hey, GD, I would take something more like a RPK or a Klek instead of a full-size MG.
Okay.
Just on account of, you're
Fuck is
carrying
the
a bunch
Klek,
of
I like
rockets.
I've got a TM46 in the hand.
What the fuck was that? Oh,
That ain't a landmine, is it?
sorry, Visa. What did you just say?
I've got one at 80 landmine in the client.
Got it.
Now, I am extremely light, so I could bring that Igla.
If you want to bring an Igla, then I would not say no, just in case.
I do not know how to use an Igla.
Okay.
Point weight for
Update
total
from
shoot.
friendly forces on the ground. We do have some teams being deployed to help cut off those routes
Got
in
it.
the event that the enemy do get through. So, as you'll see on the map, there is some forces that will cut off both of those roads, so hopefully the enemy won't escape if you fail to get them all.
Genida.
Okay, GD, since you're carrying rockets, I'm gonna carry spare mags for both of us.
Okay.
So I've got like
Donamio.
20 total. I
Nice.
don't know how bad things are gonna get, but if things get real bad, we've got ammo. Artemis, you got some spares?
I got 3 mags total. Well, 4 with the 1 in the gun.
Okay, I'm going to bring a couple spares for you.
Why is stock on this so fucking thick?
Technology.
Voyons.
Laser sight.
Yeah, I don't know. It came with the gun.
Vous aboutir.
Fascinating.
I don't know how to turn it on though.
Might be an IR sight.
Okay, are we ready for transport?
Your
And-
transport has been provided, I believe.
What are we driving?
Is it the truck?
No,
Is it a teleport?
no. Look behind you.
It's the bikes, isn't it?
Is it the bikes?
Oh.
If you want to use the bikes, they are not there. They are an option.
Okay, we'll use the bikes.
We're bike infantry now, I guess.
I want to ride my bicycle.
I am lagging all of a sudden. There we go. Excellent question. Hold still.
That a no?
No.
No, we can't.
Well, the bike's not working.
Oh no, the bikes are working fine. We just cannot both drive on them.
The bike left. Oh no, it's a ghost bike, I see.
This is extremely jank.
In a manner of speaking,
Why is the bike possessed?
Cannot believe they are actually taking the bikes. The fucking mad people.
Donamio.
I entirely forgot that I turned myself invisible.
Oh, mouse.
Oh.
I'm glad everyone's having issues with the bikes. It's great.
Yeah, it's good. Okay.
Okay, let's all head south on the road. Oh. Hey Zeus, can we get a heal? The bikes are causing damage. Thank you. Alright, everybody, let's keep going.
The Pakistani army deploys. You see, this is how the infantry will get into battle, you see. Bike infantry. They're like dragoons, you see. Dragoons.
Don't cry.
User left joined your channel. User left User joined your channel.
Aha, yes. I have arrived.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
I am on push to talk, yes. Can y'all hear me? The second I get this thing moving, it goes down to like 0.
These are
User left
absolute
User joined your
to
channel.
watch.
From the road, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, no, you're not seeing that actually.
This is folded out, so. Let me. Let's hide these bikes in some bushes.
Nice.
Oh, there we go. This is a good heavy pull. Off to the right.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Выполняю. Уже в пути. Понял. Что прикажете?
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Вас понял.
Alright, so while I try and figure this shit out because the fucking cunts want to be
Y'all see where
cunts.
Visa went? I saw a bunch of people up here, so I thought he just ran back without telling me, but turns out they're doing X. Diesel is very sneaky.
Ожидаю указаний. Жду. Ожидаю указаний.
Okay. So I'm thinking we start on one of two
Понял,
options.
Паш.
If they manage to bypass the mines without hitting any, then we will know because they know where the last mine is, and then I will just tell these that are fire yet. Or if they hit a landmine, you immediately start shooting. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay, intelligence from our forward scouts. Convoy is rolling. It is approximately 1 click away.
Уже в пути. Уже в пути.
Are those vehicle noises?
Уже в пути.
Yep, intelligence from forward scouts. Convoy is on the way. 1 click out. ETA 1 minute.
Love how the APCs are doing this well shit.
Yeah, these are, they go like past that junction, you can hit them with an RPG, okay? Either the
BTR 90s don't do so good coming uphill, but that's okay. Commander doing stupid shit, don't worry about it, he wildin'.
heads up, Judy, I am going to try to swing over your head, so don't stand like all the way up.
Okay.
What do you need?
Все ясно. Уже в пути.
Come back with that thing. Everyone get ready.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Fuck him up.
User left your channel. User joined your channel. User left your channel. User joined your channel. User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Вас понял. Вас понял.
Who's alive? Is anyone alive?
Уже в пути. Все ясно.
I do not think they are free. Does that thing keep reigniting for y'all? Come again. Can you go look for that off?
Вас понял.
I think we should start clearing out. Unless you want to get run up by helicopter.
Yeah, let me see if I can get eyes on the VIP. Dead?
Вас понял.
Yeah, that's maybe just a bit. Okay, who's alive?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Well, I don't want to be here in the next minute and a half when the helicopters get here, so let's move. The bike's lagging me too much, and I don't want to die. So let's go on. Let the bike go.
Вас понял. Понял.
Officer went up in fucking fire.
Bugging out. I'll let you know that for free.
Вас понял.
that went well.
Okay, AI. Going into that valley will have you fuckers paradrop in, fuck it.
What exactly are they doing? Vizo's doing the
GTFOing.
right- Well, Vizo's doing the right thing, I think. He's getting out of here.
Well, they are also getting out of here by taking the other road, just not as carefully or not as close to it. Either way it goes, I don't think that hind would be able to fucking see them. It doesn't have thermals. Not that they know that.
I'm not sure they're gonna want to find out.
Вас понял.
I'll have the remnants of that fire team that's still left move towards the enemy just so that the players get the hint of don't go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like they forgot where they parked their bikes.
Well, they got a bit more problems than that now.
Oh, poor Vizo. The line's going towards him.
AI, please. AI, please. AI, please.
That's terrain.
That is the angriest cook-off I've ever heard.
That is 2-0 to the terrain.
You see, that's the good old string of piano wire up in the trees. Ah, fuck it. I'll give him a better hint.
Is that God?
I gave him a hint.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sunny day with a slight chance of high explosive.
What the fuck is that?
So they're either engaged with the AI, or they're still firing at our position.
You don't think we left Viso?
No, because Visa was dead.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
They must be dead now.
Or they're killing.
And Viso got busy.
Let us
Christ and
continue.
fuck.
That's not good.
They're mad and unhappy. Aren't they bombing their own troops at this point?
Looks like they're trying to bomb where they think we're retreating to. They're not far off.
Vizsla like, you know what? You know what?
Fuck.
You know, it's just the artillery in the vicinity to let them know,
That might be the Hind, so be careful. Do not be seen. Do not be fired at the Hind. Hey, Artemis.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, can you
You're
hear me?
just talking about onions.
Calming the shit out of these woods.
We did kill an important person, so.
This straight just please.
Okay, Hein.
Okay, demon. Okay. Oh, guess who else crashed?
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Oh.
My game is trying to freeze. Hang on. There we
Yeah.
go.
We're getting damn close to the part.
I think all the forest service stuff they're doing is lagging my game. So.
Get to the town. You can sit tight in the town, V, so it's fine.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, that's a lot of fucking IED, that's a lot of fucking shit. Where the fuck am I? I am to the north, okay.
User left your channel.
260.
User
yeah.
joined your channel.
Reference your maps.
I'm referencing.
There's UXO somewhere here. That's terrifying. Just hang tight here. Your friends are gonna be coming here soon, hopefully. Alive.
I hope so.
He's just hiding in the fucking...
I think if we head north long enough, we'll hit a left to right road, which will.
Fucking hell, the POV there's just the fucking... Oh. Yeah, no, they're going the right way. They're going the right way. They angy. Don't worry about it. Was that enough UXO? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
Уже в пути.
At least it didn't burn to death this time. When I was testing it, they normally burnt the commander normally burnt up in his vehicle. This thing got fucked up somewhat.
I hope there's no hinds waiting in these bushes, waiting past the tree line.
I think the hind's fucked off.
Yeah, I think it crashed. Like,
And I'll take one of the Vodniks back as a sign of, like, the shit I would have expected y'all to do.
where the fuck is H?
Hey, boss.
I got him over here. Pull him out.
Got out.
Okay, we've got everyone back now.
Great.
Good, good. How did you like the shower that the Russians sent your way?
Loud.
Yeah.
Yep, like German opera.
Like
Oh, wow.
Tchaikovsky. Like
Yep.
Russian symphony.
Okay, so turns out that the force that you went up against was actually quite a lot stronger than you were equipped to deal with, but even
You dealt with it.
regardless, yeah. You got him. I'm very glad you had the sense to clear out before the QRF reached you, so I'm glad you took that on board. The helicopters that were buzzing around were looking for you, but I don't think any saw you. I mean, did you get shot at by them?
No. You would have died.
I heard them but never saw any, so.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, don't worry. They were
Yeah,
buzzing
We
around.
can hear you.
Hey,
I
I
think
think
is-
a bike.
Would you like to know how many helicopters the terrain has claimed tonight?
3.
3.
3.
At least 3.
Is Shotgun a bike?
Nope.
Is Shotgun an
He's
invisible
behind you.
No.
bike? Hi there.
Okay. In summary, though,
There's
pretty
the
happy
shit
with
y'all
how you
get.
executed that. Your withdrawal from the area, I'm guessing you forgot where you left your bikes, or did you just decide to abandon them?
I didn't trust them going
they
over.
were
I
right by the
decided
road.
not to take the bike and be stuck on the road with helicopters around.
That's a very fair decision, actually.
What, don't you want to be an armed dude on a fucking bicycle running away from the ambush site?
A
No, thank
weird,
you.
an armored bicycle. Look at this fucking thing.
This has a Seawis on the back.
If you could make a bicycle tactical, this is it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in general, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how you pulled that off. Any comments? Any questions? Any what the fuck? What was all of that explosions?
No, I just figured we were getting kind of battered.
Yeah, I think we got it.
If you look at the map, you'll notice what happened.
Yeah, there was a lot. I heard rocket strikes and figured the other explosives were artillery.
Yeah. Turns out killing their commanding officer has not pleased them. You did pretty much wipe out the entire force, to my understanding.
Four
with the
guys.
exception-
Four guys came out of that alive.
Yep, with the exception of the VDV counter-assault force that was deployed by helicopter,
I do
of which
remember-
they're now sat in the LZ or in the AO, wondering what the hell they're going to do about it because the enemy has disappeared into thin air.
I do remember shooting at people trying to escape up the far hillside,
Yep.
which is maybe not polite, but well, they're not
I
going to
at
complain
least
about
had
it,
fun
are they?
putting
User
rockets
left
into
your
the
channel.
floors.
Yep.
For Harrison, since
As
I
I
know
say,
he'd be
User
looking.
joined
I don't
your
think
channel.
I've got any further comments for you on that. That was fairly well conducted given the size of the force that you had available as players. Because I'll tell you some of the AI forces you had. Yeah, that is
I missed in the
strange.
chat
User
if
left
the
your
mines didn't
channel.
Do anything.
User joined your
Just drove
channel.
past them.
I think a couple of them did actually detonate right before your RPG round went in. Like,
User
they
left
did
your
hit-
channel.
There
channel.
was a small explosion, but
I'm
then
also thinking about the 18 mines I put on the road.
yeah, that would have absolutely shit mixed those. Okay. So, does everyone feel like they have a better understanding now of how you think about planning ambushes, you put them together, and you conduct them?
Yes.
Okay. So, are we going to be building roadblocks across roads in future with
Bring that man
trenches? Hmm?
If we're doing an L ambush, then
At least hide them in some trees, but yeah, But you know what I mean.
yes.
That's
Sadly, Arma doesn't allow you to do what they taught us.
what's that?
which
Dig
is
many
dropping
foxholes.
trees over the road.
Yeah, I was tempted.
Yeah, that
Fire a
works
bunch
too.
of explosives around the bottom so it falls over the road when you start ambush. Close both ends. No one's driving past that in a hurry.
Oh, that's,
With
this is
enough
why.
explosives, you can just ruin the road.
You don't,
That's
This
what
is
the
why
mines
you-
are for.
this is why you don't upset Finland. Okay. Any further comments or anything that you want to bring up? That includes my teaching style, because I already know there's a few things I need to brush up and do a little bit better job of.
No, I'm good.
The deafening
I think
silence
that was pretty
indicates. Okay. So that's the first time we've run that. As I say, I've
got
got
one,
some
I can import.
improvements I'm going to make to it in terms
Did
of
you-
what I'm going to
did you-
teach it in.
Did you just steal that Bizon?
Hmm?
There was a guy with a fucking Bison right here.
No, I don't think
Now
so.
he's gone.
I love Harrison's. No, I don't think so. It's great.
Arrest that man. Arrest him.
How are you going to arrest this man? I have 64 shots.
I have a bike.
Yeah, let me do some fucking math here.
No, that's true.
Yes, I have a picture I'm gonna drop in.
Okay. So
Media
if there's-
sharing, explaining how you don't need specific explosive to ruin the road because an 18 mine will do it.
Yep. Okay, if there's no further comments, if you've got anything you do want to feedback about it, then feel free to put it into the feedback in the server.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's